Today is May 6, 2025. We're tracking significant severe weather with tornadoes, potentially strong tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail in the forecast from Texas into Louisiana and even parts of the Northeast as well. And then going through the week, we're going to have some very heavy rainfall that could cause some flash flooding. And then we're going to look ahead to Mother's Day weekend and beyond in this forecast as well. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like the video, and share this video with friends, family, and on social media. Let's look at the severe weather risk here across the United States today on Tuesday, May 6th, and we have a 3 out of 5 enhanced risk of severe weather across southeastern Texas into west central Louisiana. Also a slight risk up here into eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and southern portions of New York State we are keeping an eye on. Let's look at the most pertinent area of severe weather, and this is a 3 out of 5 enhanced risk. This does include areas here just north of the Houston Metroplex in toward Lake Charles, Louisiana. In the yellow, that's a 2 out of 5 slight risk extending into southwestern portions of Mississippi near Natchez, all the way back here just to the south and west of Wichita Falls, Texas. And then in the dark green, that is a 1 out of 5 marginal risk of severe weather. The hazards the storms could bring today will be strong tornadoes potentially. We have a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes in east central Texas and western Louisiana. This is where EF2 or stronger tornadoes will be likely today in the yellow hatched area. In the brown, that's a 5% chance. In the green, that is a 2% chance of tornadoes, and the tornado threat extends into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Tyler, Texas, Shreveport, back here toward New Orleans, and Natchez, Mississippi throughout the day as well. And we also are keeping an eye on some damaging to destructive wind gusts, 60 to 70 miles per hour here across portions of East Texas, getting into Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi. And then the hail threat as well. We have a 15% chance of some hail that could be upwards to apple size across central and north Texas, including parts of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and mainly west of I-35 as we go here into the afternoon and evening. So here's what the radar could look like going into the afternoon. Here is noon time frame, big cluster, messy mode of some showers and thunderstorms there from Oklahoma southward into East Texas. A lot of the storm activity is going to be east of I-35, but we're still seeing some storms west of I-35 there as well. Going into the 3 o'clock hour, a lot of the storm activity will be pushing into Arkansas and Louisiana. Some back building to this down toward the Houston Metroplex will be possible, so some severe weather will be possible down here into the Houston area going into the 3 o'clock hour. Going into 6 o'clock, seeing additional supercell thunderstorms developing here across east central and southeast Texas. These could be producing potential of some strong tornadoes and also the very strong winds as well, 60, 70 miles an hour. We also got to watch out for the hail risk going into the 6 o'clock hour. 9 o'clock into 10 o'clock, a lot of this storm activity is moving out of Texas, but into Louisiana and Mississippi, the Jackson area, down toward Natchez, even down here into portions of Laurel, Mississippi. We'll be keeping a very close eye on those storms as they are erupting later on this evening, and then they'll continue to push along the Gulf Coast with some redevelopment of some severe storms in coastal Texas, Victoria, up there to Corpus Christi and Houston, Beaumont, all the way up there into Lake Charles and Baton Rouge. We could be seeing some very heavy rainfall, very efficient rainfall producers out of this as well. Now let's look at the Northeast. We have a 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather in yellow in eastern Pennsylvania and southern New York State, northwestern New Jersey. Marginal risk in dark green here, 1 out of 5 surrounding that here into Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware there, and New York State as well. The biggest threats we see is some wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, hail that could be up to quarter size, and the tornado threat is exceptionally low up here. It is less than 2%, so that is some good news. Now going here into the noon hour, notice we have these popcorn type storms, right? They're more scattered in nature, so not everybody will see these. And then as we go to the 3 o'clock hour, numerous storms developing. They'll start to intensify with the peak heating of the afternoon. And then as we go to the 6 o'clock hour for dinner time, we're going to start to see those moving from Pennsylvania and New Jersey northward into New York State. And they could be posing the risk for damaging winds in excess of 60 miles an hour, quarter-size hail, and a very low but non-zero tornado threat. It is less than 2%, but it is non-zero. And then as we go into the evening hours, that'll start to dwindle as they push toward upstate New York. And then some wraparound showers and rumbles of thunder that are non-severe will be possible into the wee hours of the morning on Wednesday up here. Now, speaking of Wednesday, May 7th, we have a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk of severe weather, mainly for coastal Texas, Corpus Christi, Victoria, up there toward Houston and Beaumont again. Keeping an eye on mainly wind and hail here. The tornado threat is very low on Wednesday. And then the severe weather threat by Thursday, May 8th, is actually very low across the United States. No currently highlighted areas for severe weather on Thursday right now. Now, looking here at the very heavy rainfall threats, we could be seeing the heaviest rain down here near the Gulf Coast. And this could be some very heavy rainfall in areas like New Orleans, Baton Rouge, over here to Gulfport, Mississippi, and Mobile. Some areas could be anywhere from 3 to 6 inches here, with isolated 8-inch totals down near New Orleans. So this is some very heavy rainfall, and this could be causing some flash flooding as far as the moderate risk goes for flash flooding into East Texas, east of I-35 mainly. Much of the state of Louisiana into Mississippi could be seeing widespread flash flooding in some areas, with that slight risk for flash flooding extending way back west into Oklahoma, the northern Texas panhandle, the Oklahoma panhandle, all the way into southeastern Colorado today. And then going into tomorrow on Wednesday, notice there's still a slight risk of flash flooding there into Baton Rouge and New Orleans, over to Gulfport, Mississippi, and Mobile. And then Thursday, still a marginal risk for flooding there into New Orleans again. Baton Rouge, up there into Gulfport, Laurel, into Montgomery, Alabama, into Panama City, and areas in southwestern Georgia. Keeping an eye on that as we go into Thursday. Now let's look at temperatures and the temperature trends through the week. Notice the warmest of our air, lots of sun-splashed skies further north into the upper Midwest, a little cooler to the south where we have the cloud cover and the precipitation ongoing here today on Tuesday. Notice as we go into Wednesday, much of the same. Thursday, we see some pretty warm air up here into southern Canada, getting into the northern United States, and that will end the week here with some pretty warm air building across the west and across the north. Now, looking at our temperatures for Mother's Day weekend, this is Saturday, May 10th. Record highs are possible across the west, where you see these areas boxed out across Montana, Idaho, Washington and Oregon, Nevada, California. We could be well into the 80s and 90s out here. Triple-digit heat down into Phoenix at 104, and then going into Sunday, Mother's Day, May 11th, notice the 80s, low 90s actually appearing into the eastern portions of Montana, the Dakotas, into Minnesota, and northern Nebraska, even a record high possible in Rapid City as we go into Sunday. More triple digits down here into Arizona, southern Nevada, and southern California, where even the Phoenix area, again, 104 on Saturday, 102 on Sunday, so definitely going to be pretty hot out there. Now, as far as precipitation goes for Mother's Day weekend, blue H, that is high pressure, right? And we're going to see lots of sinking air, which means lots of sunshine heading into the weekend there on Saturday and then Sunday as well. Now, there is going to be some precipitation out there, and it's mainly going to be focused down here toward the southeast, especially the southeast coast, southern Georgia, South Carolina, and northern Florida. That's where we could be seeing some bouts of some soaking rains as we go into Mother's Day weekend itself, and that could be adding up in a big way here into areas south of Atlanta. So we're talking Savannah, Georgia, the Dothan area, Montgomery, down here into Panama City and the Big Bend of Florida, into Tallahassee and Jacksonville, over to Gainesville and Orlando. We could be seeing widespread rainfall amounts of 2 to 4 inches, with isolated 4 to 6 inches here across portions of Georgia, South Georgia, and northern Florida for Mother's Day weekend. Now, heading into next week, our temperatures are going to be warming up in a very big way. It's warming up Mother's Day weekend across the west, record highs possible that we talked about, and all that heat is going to be building further east. So the Midwest, we're going to have several days of temperatures 30 to 40 degrees above the norm for mid-May, and that's going to carry into next week. So a lot of 80s are expected across the upper Midwest into the Central Plains as we go into next week, and it's going to be a dry pattern, so it's going to provide us with lots of 80-degree weather, but lots of sunshine here. So get out and enjoy it if you live in the Plains and the Midwest and even the Ohio Valley as we go into next week. The active weather will be over the top here, so southern Canada, the prairies over here, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and western Ontario, and then the soaking rains for the Carolinas and the southeast coast during next week. And you can see as we go into next week, look at all the rainfall there for the southeast and the eastern seaboard. Also another active storm track further off to the west, where areas here in the middle of the country will be heating up with lots of sunshine and some drier weather out there. Now, at the end of the period, we're going to watch this strong low pressure system originating in Colorado and moving northeast quickly into southern Canada. This is going to be like a vacuum, right? Very strong 985 millibar low pressure here suggested on the European model. That is going to be pulling in the moisture and instability. And by the end of the period, by next Friday, May 16th, possibly even next Saturday, May 17th, lots of storm energy and instability building here in the middle of the country on the European model and the GFS model. So there is some agreement here on that as we go into later next week, and that could give us the threat for severe weather somewhere across the Midwest and down into the plains, and that will be something we're keeping an eye on as we go into the 15th, 16th, and 17th time frame. Don't forget those dates as we go into the middle of May. Well, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe to the channels. We do daily weather forecast videos here, and I'll see you all in the next video.